This year, I want to make students more responsible of their own learning. This is going to be done through light activities and extracurricular material. I have already initiated some students, those who have leadership sense. Okay, so and they are going to be the responsible of the other student. I have already through online found EPAL correspondence with specific numbers for each student. This is I have already done. I have already initiated some students to begin an e-magazine or paper magazine, okay, and I have encouraged them to work in the area they are interested in, sport, music, drama, anything. Then I have organized the reading and drama club. This is something I have done. I have done some plagiarism, I'm not afraid of. Students are going to copy short stories, and others are going to use Photoshop to illustrate it. That's it.
It's a problem and it's a habit at the same time. My habit is teaching standing, when I'm standing. I've never sat down, never. And so I have a backache. So what is the solution? I try here to, from time to time, but I don't think it's the real solution. From time to time, I try here to give them something, okay, to do, an exercise, and then I'll sit down. But less than 1 minute, and then I move around. So it's a problem. Up to now, I haven't found any solution, up to now. And it makes me suffer from a strong backache, I mean. This is my first problem. Another one, testing. Testing in especially crowded classes. When I say crowded classes, I mean especially with economic students, and we have 35 students, no table, empty, no place. So I've tried here 4 different tests, but in vain. No solution. But now I'm thinking about splitting them here into small groups, but we need here time. The problem is time. If I have here 3 or 4 groups, or 2 groups, it means that 2 hours, 2 other hours, I think. So, and you know here the problem of the program and so on. This is number 2. Another one is that, another problem is that concerning students themselves, I'd like them to be autonomous, to rely on themselves. I try many things, but they don't. All the time they are waiting for my answers and to do the work for them. There are some exceptions, of course, some good students, but I'd like here most of them to be here independent, but no solution. So I try here, I've tried here in order to encourage them to do the activity, be me teacher, and ask them to prepare some reading comprehension. I give them here as a homework a reading comprehension. This group, these 2 students should prepare these kind of questions, true, false questions, for example, and the others comprehension questions, and so on. It works a little bit, I think, a little bit. It depends on the classes. It depends on the classes. For grammar lessons, if you remember, Mr. Zoubair, last time you told us that students should do the grammar by themselves. You remember? I tried it. No.
Try another one.
Another one.
I'm going to cut this part.
Sorry.
Of course, I represent private school teachers here in this interpretation. So I think I give more importance to what I call priority to students' talents, because I think we have to give it more importance, because we have to know how to motivate non-talented students, because in every classroom we can see like isolated students. How can we motivate or remotivate this student? This way they can participate or take part with with other students. The second point is time in management. Not the problem of to complete the lesson, but how to use or to well use time in management to create variety of activities, because variety of activities can motivate our students to create more and to develop their personal creativity. Okay, I think in brief this is my interpretation. I might plan for this school year. I think. Thank you very much.
Well, as an action plan for the school year, I have identified 3 areas. One of the first one is raise students' motivation, and especially boys, because I've remarked that boys are less motivated than girls. For this, I'm going to use music, which is appealing to students to foster learning, projects, small projects, and mixed projects together with boys and girls. The second point, or the second area, is improve student communication. Well, I'm going to supplement the course, of course, with real-life situation and communication, those which reflect their daily life at home. The last one is increase student involvement in learning. Of course, using drama, music, games, story writing, and projects. Thank you.
This year, I think I have a major problem which has to do with participation, and I noticed that I'm only working with a bunch of students. Basically, as the teacher said, most of them are girls, and I thought of a way to make all the other students participate. So the action which I'm going to take possibly has basically to focus on using more engaging techniques and materials. And among these materials and techniques, I thought of introducing technology, ICT, things that I have already used and tried them with this class. So I thought as tools of using funny or fun activities and videos which maybe incite or elicit certain feelings of joy and participation inside the class. And I think this will be basically my preoccupation during this term. And I thought it would be also good to try to maybe make students more aware of the importance of reading, since we have now a reading resource center at the school. So this is one way of at least trying to improve and foster their participation.
The third area, okay, I rank the third position. First of all, my big concern is my teacher talking time. You know, by the end of the last lesson, I feel I was boxing and not teaching. You know, all the fatigue of the word. For this one, I don't know the technique I'm going to use, but, you know, I'm thinking about it. For another thing, I will try to refer to the standard-based approach. It seems like we have forgotten about it. So, my first concern normally it is how to involve my students in an online, classroom or classrooms if possible. This is, as you remember, this is setting up communities outside of the classroom. By the way, I have started, and now I have already had contact with something like 10 classrooms all around the world, starting by Canada, the Philippines, I think Germany and other countries. And you know, my students are very eager, very enthusiastic, okay, to take part, and we have already started. This has broken the monotony in my class. It has also helped me, diversify or demystify the use of the internet, and what's very important, it is to make a better use of the internet. You know, students sometimes spend something like long hours doing nothing, just wasting time. The second area is, it has to do with the communication, standard. Our students now give answers but just chunks. It's like yes, no, I don't know, or just give you like, so my concern is how to enhance the speaking skill, so the students are going, instead of giving just one word or 3 words, how they can, for example, articulate a long sentences or responses. 10 seconds left.
Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, the first thing which strikes my mind when I'm asked to reflect or to do some reflections about my planned actions for this year is that I really need to reflect because my students deserve the best of me. Okay, so I have decided about 3 areas. The first one is how to deal with misbehavior. I find it difficult to manage, conduct, and discipline in English. I find it difficult to manage kids, motivated kids. Okay, because I believe that teaching equals educating. The second area is about checking, how can I be sure that my teaching results are efficient. Efficiency equals success. Okay? The third area is I am thinking about implementing some cooperative learning in my teaching habits. Cooperating equals being responsible for one's learning. And for all this, the only thing which now I am thinking about is to do research, to do some extra readings to develop. Thank you.
Well, I'm just going to say the 3 areas briefly so that I won't take your time. The first area is how to deal with classes with different levels, different mastery of English. Because as we have seen recently, we have students in the Common Core have different levels. Some of them use English perfectly well at the Common Core, while others can't use even the verb to be in the simple present. So this is really a challenge that we have to deal with. The second area is, by the way, we have just received a white interactive board, and we don't know how to use it, and it took us a long time to just fix it in the classroom. So I wonder if I can get any help in using that white interactive board. The last point is how to get most, if not all, the students involved actively in the class, because if I would say that most of them don't really get involved in, especially in reading. You can't make them read. You tell them read, they can look, but they can't really read. Thank you.